intended for mature collectors only. Is the Xesray Studio Gold Hildr the best 112 action figure of 2025? After you guys blew up my Red Sonja review, I finally grabbed this on your recommendation. Cloth goods, articulation, dynamic posing, kit bash, head swaps, does she live up to the hype, or did I waste my money? Let's find out. A quick heads up, taking Gold Hildr apart is not as easy as Boss Fight Studio Red Sonja. You need to heat this figure apart. I used hot water, so if you notice any trapped moisture, that's why. Seriously, save yourself the trouble and stress, heat the joints first. Just to prove my point, I wasn't able to heat the legs properly, so paint transfer happened when I removed her boots. The Xesray Studio 2025 exclusive Gold Hildr is $50, and she only comes with one head sculpt, unlike the Boss Fight Studio Epic Hacks Red Sonja which came with 3. But Gold Hildr has a removable hair piece on top of her head, and when you remove it, there would be a hole where you can attach the peg of her helmet. This gives you an alternate look for the character. For her helmet, I'm not sure if this is a battle damage dent here. You can see that there is a silver plastic revealed. The other side doesn't have that damage, so I'm really not sure if this is a defective helmet. Let me know in the comments below, did you get the same? With the helmet or not, Gold Hildr's blue eyes are really nicely done. I was worried initially when I saw the promo pictures where her eyes does not look right, but in hand you would see the bright blue eyes standing out of her dark skin. As a Viking, you would expect her to look rough, but this lady looks really nice. She has a dirty golden looking hair that matches her description. She is Gold Hildr, and her gold hair has some dark washes on certain parts of her scalp. The braids looks good. The lips of her slightly open mouth is colored pink, hardly noticeable, very subtle. Gold Hildr inherited her father's strong, muscular physique. She is not your typical superhero female with curves. It's more of like bulky muscle. It's hard to see it because of all the accessories attached to her. All of those are removable. The great thing about the accessories, although they are plastic, they don't look plasticky. Her arm guard and her belt has sculpted fur which matches her cloth goods cape. Xesray Studio did a great job sculpting details, especially the belly button right here, which you can see from afar, even if she has this very busy, nicely detailed belt with all those gold painted. She also has this extra belt which has some teeth. She has a upper thigh guard. Her accessories are not symmetrical, it's different for the left and the right. I assume her clothes, her armor are all salvage parts which you get from battle. You might notice the usual level of spicy commentary is significantly reduced in this review. It's for the best because we're prioritizing the educational value and technical deep dive. I need the educational value of this review to be crystal clear when we get into the Boss Fight Studio and TB League body comparisons. She comes with a pair of weapon holding hands. Nicely sculpted fingernails on these hands, and in terms of the articulation, it can actually move in any direction because it has a ball peg system, but it's difficult because of her arm guards. She comes with a pair of closed fist hands. This is one of the reasons why we need to remove her accessories later so that we can see the full range of her articulation. All of this on her, it stops her from moving properly. She comes with a pair of open palm expressive hands. This first set is where her fingers are wide apart. The second pair is a more expressive hands. Just my luck, I got both hands as a right hand. Per promo images, she's supposed to have one left and one right open palm expressive hands. I reach out to the seller hoping that they can provide the correct left hand. Xesray Studio Gold Hildr comes with 4 weapons. This is the first one, which is a long sword. Xesray Studio did a great job in terms of the design of the sword because it looks like a weapon for a Viking. It's not shiny silver as normal swords would be. It's more rough looking. Comes with a sword sheath and you can slide it on. I found it difficult to attach the sword sheath to her belt. It probably is best that you heat up that part first before attaching it to the hole, then leave it there. Don't remove it anymore because it's really difficult to attach and detach it. Now that I managed to attach the sword sheath to her belt, let's look at the other weapons. She comes with a large axe. It's like the stone is weathered and it looks really good. The handle has some kind of like cloth. You can try to attach it here, but it's not the right axe to carry for this one. She probably should be just holding it because the length of the handle would hinder her movement for walking. So now she comes with 2 weapons. The third weapon is a smaller axe, and this is the one that you should put around her belt. One thing I noticed is the weapon gripping hands are really tight. You need to pry it a little bit open in order for the weapons to be held correctly. My worry though is if the paint would chip off. She comes with a smaller knife. Unlike the other weapons wherein she has a tight grip, for this knife, it's very loose. She barely held it. It would slide in, like the blades would slide in through her fingertips. It's a bit difficult to use. Probably I'm just holding it the wrong way. But for now, just plug it in to the back of her belt. There is a knife sheath. Since this is my first Xesray Studio figure, one of my biggest deciding factors was the accessories. And right out of the box, Gold Hildr makes a strong impression. The faux fur mantle looks genuinely premium and instantly adds presence. It is a standout accessory for the figure. That said, there are 2 important warnings you need to know before handling or posing this figure. The faux fur does shed. I notice loose fibers pretty quickly, especially during posing, and they can get caught up in the joints and articulation points. It's not a deal breaker, but it is something collectors should expect. I do hope over time it won't shed out completely. Another warning is the snap closure holding the mantle in place is very tight. These small metal studs are only secured to the faux fur mantle by a thin anchor thread. If you pull too aggressively when separating the snap, there's a real risk of tearing the thread right out of the backing. My advice here is simple: take it slow and be gentle. Use your fingernails, slide it in between just to make sure that the buttons don't get pulled out. If you found this review helpful, hope you give it a hype, a like, subscribe to my channel, and share this with your friends. For places where the figures in this review might still be available, I left some links in the description below.
I'm Turner.
This is the standard intended removal of swapping the whole arm, the only one you want to happen. The first failure mode, the shoulder peg stays lodged in the torso socket, and the arm separates from the bicep. This leaves a visible hole in the bicep where the peg should be in. This is a clear sign that the peg is too tightly seated in the torso. The second failure. This is where the arm pulls the entire butterfly joint out of the torso block along with the arm. I was afraid that I might have broken her permanently, but you just need to adjust that joint inside the torso so it will align with the whole of the butterfly joint. I only encountered these issues on the tighter right side. The left side was much more manageable. One problem I did create due to overheating: the T-joint for the legs disconnected from the lower torso block. This is frustrating because every time I try to reattach the two legs, the T-joint pops right back out of the torso. This forces me to repeat the process of removing the legs and pressing the entire peg back into the socket. The immediate concern here is how thin the plastic of the crotch pelvis section is. It visibly bends when applying pressure to reseat the T-joint. I have a serious worry that the thin plastic of the crotch piece is under too much stress and may eventually crack or split completely. You can see right now it is slightly bent to one side, like the whole crotch folds a bit. This is really concerning. We can use Gold Hildr's accessories on Red Sonja, but it's quite loose on the upper torso. The crotch piece is okay, but I really don't recommend doing this. This is so loose. For Gold Hildr, it's quite tight. It was difficult to attach the top to her. There's no space left there, so it barely attaches to her. Her hips are wider, so you cannot use Red Sonja's metal loincloth. Crazy Figure has 3 different types of torso. This is the largest one, and it is still loose using Gold Hildr's accessory. For the lower part, it's quite loose as well, but I do worry breaking the rubber part while I was attaching it. So you can see a large gap right there. Best avoid doing this. Obviously, being the smallest body, Gold Hildr's accessories won't fit for TB League. The cloth goods fur can be used by other figures like Boss Fight Studio, but it's quite loose on the waist. This one reminds me of the prehistoric Avengers Phoenix, the first Phoenix. The skin color of Gold Hildr is quite unique. It's difficult to match. It could have been perfect for Shanna. Looking at the silhouette of the body, it reminds you of that Frank Cho Shanna art. One Marvel Legends head that almost I think would be great for this body is Dani Moonstar. She has one of the slightly darker skin color. For the weapon holding hand, one great thing that Xesray Studio did is there is a gap between one of the fingers. It enables Dani to hold on to the end of the arrow so you can do that arching pose. The Marvel Legends figure has no way of creating this pose wherein she holds on to the end of the arrow. From the same figure, there is a Wolfsbane alternate head, and this particular Wolfsbane skin color works with the Gold Hildr body. Although the body is all smooth, Wolfsbane is supposed to be furry. Maybe this is the in-between state where Wolfsbane was a human then transforming to a wolf. For the obvious candidate, and it's not Rogue. By the way, attaching the Marvel Legends head would need some sticky tack or blue tack because it is loose. So going back to the obvious candidate, it would be Storm. This is from the old Marvel Legends Retro Storm in her black chimney costume. It's not a good match. The skin is just too dark. How about the classic Storm from the giant size X-Men? It doesn't match as well, too bright brown color. The one that matches surprisingly is the recent X-Men Retro Storm in her Outback costume. This is the best one. Now you have almost a Savage Land Storm. The physique is quite muscular though, but I think it's alright. You can use the cloth goods cape as well for her. It looks great on Storm. Unfortunately, Gold Hildr's head is too large for any Marvel Legends body, so I don't recommend doing this. The new Xesray Studio 2025 exclusive Gold Hildr stands 16.5 centimeters or 6.5 inches tall. She is on the taller side of females. Here she is beside 6-inch scale Hasbro Marvel Legends X-23, the teenage one, shorter Jean Grey, Warbird, so far the best female buck X-Factor Jean Grey, and on high heels X-Men 97 Emma Frost. Here she is besides Hasbro Marvel Legends male figures. She still is taller compared to the regular size male, which is X-Men 97 Cyclops, while X-Men 97 Cable is taller than her. Next, other taller Marvel Legends figures: Colossus, She-Hulk, Apocalypse, and Warpath. For other figures that might fit in as her enemies or allies, here we have Man-Thing, Savage She-Hulk, Scar, Venom. Probably possible furry pets for her: X-Factor Wolfsbane, X-Force Feral. Here she is besides the new X-Men Retro Storm Outback costume, Mezco 112 Bishop. For other 112 scale figures from Medicom Toy Mapex, Brown Costume Wolverine, Storm, 6-inch scale loose collector figures, Darna Philippines Wonder Woman, besides the Drunken Master, Burning Hammer line, Master Wee Lee. For other executive replicas and loose collector ladies, Vampirella, Purgatory, Coffin Comics Lady Death, and her daughter Chaotica. For some Red Sonja size comparison, Boss Fight Studio Epic Hacks Red Sonja, executive replicas and loose collector Red Sonja. Past and present Marvel Legends size comparison, 88th anniversary Juggernaut, the new Gamerverse Juggernaut. 6-inch scale versus 7-inch scale size comparison, 80th anniversary Incredible Hulk, and the Diamond Select Toys Marvel Select Immortal Hulk or the Rampaging Hulk. Since this is my first Xesray Studio, I was surprised how compact and small the packaging is. It really feels special and exclusive because this covers the main box. It says Event 2025 Gold Hildr Xesray Studio. When you slide out the main box inside, there is a window showing the figure, so this is in-box collector friendly. At the bottom it says Combatants Fight for Glory Gold Hildr. The same is for the side. On top it says Event 2025. It's a little bit subtle in text. On the side is a product shot of Gold Hildr with her helmet. Here is a short read up. Pause it right now if you want to have a read. At the bottom is the Xesray Studio logos, their social media contacts, and a barcode. Unboxing it, there are 2 plastic trays. The first tray contains the figure. There is the soft goods cape. At the bottom is the other accessories, which is taped in, so you need to cut that. The second tray contains the weapons and interchangeable hands and the feet. I forget to mention, by default, these are the sandals feet that she has. There is a peg hole, and at the bottom, Made in China Xesray Studio. As mentioned a while ago, make sure to heat up the figure before attempting to remove any part like the feet. And this is what it looks like without the feet. The bare feet looks like this, and a good thing that Xesray Studio did is there is a gap between the largest toe and the rest, so you can insert a sandal, like a different brand sandal. This feet can hinge forward and back and has an ankle rocker. Articulation is definitely limited because of her armor. Her head can move from side to side with a little hindrance because of her long hair. She can do that. She cannot look up at all. Great range of tilting. She has a double dumbbell neck peg right here. Her butterfly joints is seamless. It's designed differently. She has a single jointed elbow. It's hard to articulate when all the armor is in, so better remove that. She can do a full 360 that allows the great range of butterfly joint type of movement. Her wrist has a ball peg hinge system that allows great range of movement any direction. She has an upper torso swivel which allows tilting like a normal human would do. She can crunch backward really good, cannot crunch forward that much. She can do a split, a little bit hindrance because of her armor. She can do a drop down knee, but yeah, that one always gets removed. So there's the swivel right there. Can kick backward, not that much because of her armor. She has double jointed pinless knees. This is a standout 112 figure of 2025, especially for collectors who value articulation, cloth goods, and accessory versatility. Many of the included accessories can also be repurposed for kit bashing or display with other toy lines in your collection like Marvel Legends. If you found this technical deep dive, scale breakdown, and articulation comparison helpful, and remember, this content is aimed for mature collectors. You'll find more detailed action figure reviews like this right here. Click the link on the top right corner of your screen to keep watching. Thank you again. I hope you give this review a hype, a like, subscribe to my channel, and share this with your friends. Happy holidays, and I hope to see you in the next one.